Hello and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Osman. In this week's episode, we'll see how community leaders prepare for potential Zika virus cases. A new park in Daytona Beach has gone to the dogs. And we have ways for you to spend your summer days at the Lyonia Environmental Center. Plus, Joanne Magley is in the studio with her special guest. Those segments and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. I hope you stay tuned. Representatives of the public health community recently came together for a tabletop exercise to discuss the Zika virus. This mosquito-borne virus is similar to those that cause dengue and the West Nile virus infection, with symptoms lasting 5 to 7 days. According to the CDC, the Zika illness is generally mild with a rash, fever, and joint pain.
Well, this is obviously a serious disease, and it poses serious acute threats that we don't see with other diseases like dengue or chikungunya. It isn't just a mosquito surveillance and control problem. It involves our public health professionals, our community organizations. It honestly involves everybody in the county.
Residents are encouraged to do their part to help with the mosquito protection and prevention, and are urged to drain standing water weekly, no matter how seemingly small. A couple drops of water in a bottle cap can be a breeding location for mosquitoes, and everyone should use repellents when going outdoors.
Nobody can get around to all of the residences in the county, so this really is a matter of personal responsibility. If people would simply tip that water out, toss the containers that they don't need around their yard, that would help us immensely.
For more information about mosquito prevention, you can visit volusia.org/mosquito. You also can get updates on locations mosquito control will be spraying in Volusia County by following us on Twitter at VCNewsInfo. A new community dog park at the Halifax Humane Society not only provides a new place for four-legged friends to explore, but it's aimed to help increase adoptions as well. The new dog park is the first not-for-profit, pet-centric travel center and rest area of its kind in the county, and encompasses 3 acres of land adjacent to the Halifax Humane Society's existing location off of LPGA Boulevard in Daytona Beach. With areas for small and large dogs on and off their leashes, this new park offers plenty of room and activities to keep our furry friends busy.
The kickoff for the park actually was the grant application for the ECHO Volusia County grant that we had put in a couple years back. Being awarded that grant was a blessing. It's really what kicked off the campaign and really reimagining the future of Halifax Humane Society, and that's what really was a stepping stone to let us be where we are now. And that involved obviously Volusia County, and we're very thankful for them for being so gracious in supporting this magnificent project.
Could be a real staple of our community. I think this is something that has not been done before. It's essentially a rest area with our proximity to I-95 here on LPGA, but it also allows for an anchor of humanity right here in the gateway of our community in Daytona Beach.
The new dog park was funded in part by a $400,000 Volusia County ECHO grant and built by Coleman Goodmoat Construction. It includes agility courses, fenced and shaded areas, walking trails, and water stations for pet owners and their animals. Future plans for the area include offering agility training, special events, and more activities to help strengthen the human and animal bond in our community.
This is the gateway to our community. It's ever expanding. There's so much going on in this area that we'd be silly not to capitalize off of our great location. And the hope is to get more vehicle traffic in, more foot traffic in the door, which is going to also equal more animals out the door. And that's our main goal. That's what we're all about, is getting those animals out of here as soon as possible into great homes and loving homes.
The new community dog park is located at 2364 LPGA Boulevard in Daytona Beach, just north of International Speedway Boulevard and off of I-95. It is open daily from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. There's no fee to use the dog park. For more information, you can visit halifaxhumanesociety.org. Get back to nature at Lyonia Environmental Center, which offers free outdoor hikes and indoor programs each month. The popular center, known as the LEC, is in the Daytona Regional Library Complex. It's the gateway to Lyonia Preserve, a 360-acre scrub habitat that's home to the charismatic Florida scrub jay, which likes to call out to hikers. Families love to stroll through the scrub and look for wildlife such as gopher tortoises, gray foxes, and pocket gophers.
We would just love everybody to come visit us. Every Wednesday at 2 o'clock, we do a program called Wild Wednesdays with Ron. One of our docents will just do a great hands-on program for the general public, showing people the animals, letting people touch them and interact with them and educating them. And it's just a great family place to come. Come have a picnic, come hang out with us in here, see the exhibits, and it's just a great family place to be.
Check out the LEC's website at lyoniapreserve.com to see a list of upcoming programs. This week's events kick off with a creature feature in which LEC staff will talk turkey, sharing interesting facts about the big bird's habitats and behaviors. They'll also show track and scat molds. Saturday will feature a doubleheader, starting with an early bird hike through Lyonia Preserve at 8:30 a.m. Birders will want to bring their binoculars for this avian adventure. Families are invited to help Rusty, the LEC's mascot, celebrate his birthday from 1 to 4 p.m. on Saturday. Rusty will show off the LEC's new water room, which has aquariums teeming with native freshwater fish, alligators, and saltwater invertebrates. Later this month, the LEC will have craft programs for kids and offer tips on attracting butterflies to your garden. Volusia County opened the LEC in 2009 to offer insights into Volusia County's fragile ecosystem through hands-on displays and educational programs. Individuals and groups can stop by 7 days a week to tour the facility. Admission is always free. Here's a look at some events happening around Volusia County. For more events and county news, visit volusia.org.
Mosquitoes will bite day and night, so protect yourself with these tips. Keep mosquitoes outside by shutting doors and covering windows with screens. Use EPA-approved insect repellents anytime you're outdoors. Cover your skin with long sleeves and pants. Mosquitoes lay their eggs in water. Just a bottle cap of water is all they need. So drain, refresh, or cover anything around buildings that can hold water at least weekly, and put away outside items that aren't being used. A message from the Florida Department of Health.
More than 1.7 million Floridians want to quit smoking completely. The Florida Department of Health in Volusia County has free resources to help you quit smoking. Holly Smith has more in this week's Community Health Matters.
Have you thought about kicking the habit, your smoking habit? Fortunately, Volusia County residents do not have to do it alone. The Florida Department of Health and the Tobacco-Free Florida program have no-cost and effective resources that can double a tobacco user's chances of quitting.
Smoking is horrible for your health, as we all know. Three of the biggest things I'm going to talk about are it can increase your risk of cancer, heart attack, and stroke. And quitting can actually reduce your risk of heart attack in just 2 days. So it's very important to quit. If not for those reasons, there's many others.
There are plenty of reasons to give up tobacco. Consider this. If you lose the tobacco, you can gain up to 10 years in life expectancy. The health benefits of kicking the smoking habit begin almost immediately after your last cigarette, and they can continue for years if you quit for good.
Like the 7,000 chemicals and toxins that are in tobacco smoke. It's bad for the people that you love and your family members that are around you, and the list just goes on and on.
Quitting tobacco may be difficult. You've probably already thought about that, but it's not impossible. Consider this. There are more former smokers than current smokers in the state of Florida, so it can be done. All those former smokers are proof of that. And yes, some people who quit in the past may relapse. Quitting smoking may require several attempts. Just keep at it.
When you're looking to quit smoking, there's 3 things that you need. You need support, you need resources, and you need help. So basically the 3 easy ways to quit are you can go online, you can call, or you can go to in-person classes.
Tobacco-Free Florida offers 3 free, easy ways to quit. Call, click, or come in. Call the Florida Quit line at 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW to speak with a quit coach who will help you assess your addiction and help you create a personalized quit plan. Click. Tobacco-Free Florida's online cessation tool can be accessed at tobaccofreeflorida.com/webcoach. Or come in. Sign up for group classes at your local area health education center by calling 1-877-QUIT-IT-NOW or visiting www.ahectobacco.com. The number of cigarette smokers in Florida has reached an all-time low, yet too many residents struggle with tobacco's deadly addiction.
It's very important to quit smoking, obviously, like we said before, not only for the health benefits, but also it increases your life expectancy. In Florida, tobacco kills 88 people every day. I mean, that's huge.
Ask yourself what you will miss more, your children or cigarettes. For as long as I can remember, my mother smoked. She died from lung cancer when I was 16. I could not take the chance of continuing smoking and not being here for my daughter. I know how much I needed my mom still, and I didn't realize it until I had lost her.
Find 3 ways to quit at tobaccofreeflorida.com.
To learn more about Tobacco-Free Florida and the state's free quit resources, visit www.tobaccofreeflorida.com. For the Department of Health in Volusia County, I'm Holly Smith.
The Volusia County Library System has more than just books. Here's a look at upcoming programs at our branches. For more library events, visit volusialibrary.org.
It's hard enough to maintain a healthy diet on a regular day. So how do you even begin to prioritize nutrition during a disaster? Not to worry, it's called planning ahead. There are a few things you should do to make sure your emergency food doesn't become a disaster to your diet. Canned vegetables, fruits and nuts, along with selected proteins, are an important part of a balanced diet and are perfect foods to include in your emergency preparedness kit. Start stocking your emergency preparedness kit today and store at least a 3-day supply of foods that require no refrigeration, preparation, or cooking, and have enough water on hand for drinking and food preparation. Remember, the amount of food you need depends on your age, gender, physical condition, and activity level. For emergency cooking, use a charcoal grill outdoors. Make your plan now to have a healthy diet, even during a disaster.
It's time to go into the studio and join the Director of Community Information, Joanne Magley, and her guest.
Well, today we're going to talk trash, literally. Every week, we all put our trash and recyclables to the curb and then forget about it. But behind the scenes, it's a very complex business. So joining us today to talk trash is Volusia County's Director of Solid Waste and Recycling, Lenny Marion. Hi, Lenny. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So let's just begin with some general information about the county's solid waste operation. It's one of the county's services that's behind the scenes, and a lot of people don't know about it.
No, yeah, we are kind of behind the scenes, but you know, Solid Waste Division, we provide disposal. That's our primary goal within the county, to provide refuse disposal for the county residents, along with a collection program too through a franchise that we offer through public services for curbside collection. You got a staff of about 76 folks, and from tractor trailers to heavy equipment to landfill compactors to HHW, household hazardous waste, and recycling, 15 drop-off locations for Igloo for the oil recovery program. So we're pretty widespread throughout the county and to offer that service.
So your budget is about $37 million.
Approximately. That varies, Joanne. Our collection's about 10.2, and when I say collection, that's the portion for Republic Waste. Those dollars are committed to pay them for curbside collection for our residents. And then we have another, anywhere, it can run from 25 to 27 million for the landfill side of the world and the transfer station side of the world. Depending on our capital outlay, and the dollars that we spend on. The primary stuff is the equipment and the landfill expansions that we do.
But your operation is not funded through county taxes. Tell us how you operate.
They call us an enterprise fund. Enterprise fund is basically outside the window of your standard ad valorem based budget that you have within a county. We operate like a private business, strictly like a private business. Everything that comes in the landfill and the transfer station over the scales, there's a tip fee for that, and residents and customers are required to pay a certain fee for certain items that come through. We take that revenue, and just like a private business, we look at we have a 7-year master plan that we look at, capital outlay, our construction projects. All of that money is dedicated to paying our staff, buying our equipment, putting our restricted cash and reserves aside so that we can go ahead and build those landfill cells to provide future capacity. And then we take a look at our equipment, and we have an equipment renewal program. You know, the average landfill compactor out there is about $950,000. So, you know, financially we have to plan pretty tight.
So let's talk about capacity at the landfill. How big is the county's landfill, which is located just south of Daytona Beach?
3,400 acres out there. We have a multitude of services that we provide, from construction and demolition disposal, regular household garbage disposal. We're in the process of building a new citizens drop-off area out there where the citizens won't have to go to the working face of the landfill. And then we have the Class 3 disposal over there also. And we kind of mirror the transfer station with our HHW facility. And that's where you can go and you can drop off your paints and things of that nature.
So in addition to the landfill operations, the county, your division also manages trash pickup and recycling for the unincorporated areas of Volusia County. And I imagine that can be a little bit of a challenge, because if you think of the unincorporated areas, they're pretty spread out, and they're kind of out there.
From Pearson, you know, all the way to Lake Harney. So that's quite a spread. And you said it, you hit it right on the head. It's spread out. Some of them, you know, back in the old days, they called them pig trails. And they're just little trails where some folks live down there. Unmaintained roads. We have some community stops, like over in Orange City area over there. A lot of dirt roads. A lot of areas that you get that sugar sand, low hanging limbs. So those guys, they have their challenges out there, but you know, there's a few hiccups along the way, but overall, Republic does a good job serving our 45,000 residents that we have.
And so a lot of people, if they live in the city limits, then they're dealing with their own city's contractor. And has there ever been any talk about any consolidation when it comes to city and county pickup?
Yeah, we've got 16 cities within Volusia County, and those cities come and dispose of their garbage with us. And they have their own private collection agreements with, say, Waste Pro or Waste Management, and they develop their own contract, and what we do is we provide the disposal on the other side of that for them. I think that the matrix of that being that you have so many entities out there with different dates and different levels of service that it's difficult to put that all together to, say, have a solid waste authority or combine those services together.
So anytime people come away from the landfill, they're just surprised about all that goes on. What exactly goes into the waste disposal operation at the landfill?
Well, you're right, and I'm not going to brag, but I am going to brag that the Citizens Academy, I think we're one of the favorites that when they do come out, again, they get a totally different perspective of what really goes on out there. It's a complicated effort to get it done, from starting with the permitting process through the government agencies, from Army Corps of Engineers to DEP to St. John's Water Management District, endangered species, ERP permits, looking for groundwater, borings, how the groundwater flows. We abut right up to the Tomoka headwaters. So environmentally, we have to be very careful what we do, and we're monitored by those folks, and we work through consultants and the regulatory agencies to do that. Landfill, a cost per acre of Class 1 landfill, somewhere right in the vicinity $320,000 an acre, somewhere in that ballpark.
So it's not as simple as, you know, digging a big hole and putting things in. It's pretty complex.
Right, and we actually we'll dig down and make a little hole. We don't dig too deeply, but it's a matrix of collection pipes, double composite liners, sand, filter fabric, and it's 2-layered. We have a leachate collection system, and the leachate is all the liquid that goes through the garbage and comes in, and it's got to be collected and it's got to be treated, so that we just can't go and dispose of that on the ground. And so it's a complicated effort out there.
So back in the 1980s, Florida mandated that all counties had to reduce their waste stream by at least 30% through recycling. So what is the state of recycling as it pertains to Volusia County?
We're doing good. I mean, we have the curbside program. We have the 15 drop-off locations within the county, and we have certain cardboards that we recycle. We recycle scrap metal, white goods, paint. So we're right there with the rest of the counties out there as far as the recycling side of the world. We're at 52% right now on our last state report.
That's
so
great.
We're doing very good as far as the 30%. And we'll continue. We look at innovative ways. The innovation portion of it is that we have to make sure, not only because we're an enterprise fund, that the new technology sometimes may appear to be the greatest thing to do, but when you look at it economically, it's really not. And that's what we have to do. We're not sitting here saying that the environment is not important. The environment is very important, but we have to make sure that it makes economic sense also for our residents.
Well, speaking of recycling, you also recycle the methane gas that's produced at the landfill.
Correct. And we were under contract with a company previously. That contract expired, and we're in negotiations now with DTE, which is a methane to energy company that's all across the country. We're working on that contract. They've got people out at the landfill as we speak. We're doing some gas sampling, and we're balancing the gas collection system. But basically, it's like a big vacuum cleaner. We've got vertical wells, got horizontal wells, got over 100 wells in both the south cell and the north cell. What happens is it just runs off a blower. There's a couple blowers that actually suck the gas, takes it into a facility. We're flaring everything right now. Goes up a flare, and we burn it because of Title V requirements. And we can't release carbons into the atmosphere. But hopefully within the next year and a half, 2 years, that we'll have that facility up and going, and we'll be producing electricity back out on the grid again.
Wow, that's awesome. So what is on the horizon for solid waste and recycling? What's new, or what's coming up?
Well, we've got the 75% goal for the recycling by 2020. That's state mandated on that, and we're working towards that. And we're looking into how to expand the programs to achieve those goals. It's going to be tough, I'll be honest with you. We're kind of unique here in Volusia, is that the multi-housing can generate quite a bit of capacity, of tonnage, I should say, or volume. But getting there with this limited space and limited parking lots and how to manage those programs, it's tough for the cities to do that, because that's where most of the multi-housing is over on the coast over there. But we're coming up with other ways. We're looking at our Class 3 landfill, maybe doing some recycling programs there of our construction and demolition program. Again, when the methane gets back up on, that'll be another added factor. So we're researching that area there. The south cell at Tomoka, we're looking at a 250-acre expansion out there. We've started that. Matter of fact, council today approved the first phase of that. So our consultants will be out there taking borings, looking at our stormwater management program, how we're going to dewater, wetland delineation, and things of that nature. So 2053, that's a good spread. It's an asset having that landfill to our citizens. You know, if we didn't have that facility, we would have to go and look for capacity for disposal for our residents. And when you do that, you're at the mercy of the other vendors. And what happens is you have to pay a tip fee to dispose of your garbage, and you have to pay a collection fee to get it off curbside. So when the disposal fee goes up, what happens is the collection fee goes up, and that's passed on to our residential customers and our commercial customers. So we're at a big advantage in Volusia County through the guidance of our council and county manager of that saying, no, we're gonna own a facility, we're gonna operate it efficiently, and we've done that. That's why that we can offer an economical price for disposal and keep our prices in line.
And I can't let you go without a little side note that the landfill is actually a big draw for bird watchers.
Yes, it
because
is.
you have some birds that travel miles and miles just to land there.
Well, we have, you know, there's probably, I'm going to say 80 to 100 different species of birds out there at this time of the year during the winter. And they've been with the Science Center, they come and they do annual bird counts. And they do a great job with it. We have the Audubon Society we work very closely with. And we've had them from New Zealand, Iceland, you know, seagulls that travel that far to our facility over there.
Wow.
Got an array of eagles, and we have bird watchers all year long. We have, what we've done for them is we've made bird monitoring stations out there, and they have signage. We have a map for them. We show them where to go, and they have their binoculars and their cameras, and we keep them at a safe distance so they stay out of line of traffic and heavy equipment, but they enjoy it very much. It's a very good program.
So Lenny, where can people get more information about solid waste and recycling in
You can
Volusia
go to our webpage at www.volusia.org, click on solid waste recycling, and it'll give you all the information about all the programs that we have.
All right, Lenny, Marion. Amber, back to you.
Thanks, Joanne, and thank you too for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can always feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. Incidentally, you can find the County Council's meeting calendar there too. In fact, you can use volusia.org to find out about meeting dates, workshops, topics of interest, activities, and how you can become involved. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Osman. Have a wonderful evening.